Greetings and welcome to KSOL Black Talk Radio, the new black media. This video is about Idris Elba, who is very disheartened over the James Bond casting. Backlash over, guess what? You guessed it, the color of his skin. I bring this video to you to bring up the fact that within the culture of white fragility, they have a thing called color blindness, or they see no color. This is actually a deflection away from the discussion of race. It is what white fragility is all about. It's where you run from that discussion. This video about Idris Elba being disheartened, it's because the color of his skin is actually being a hindrance of him actually getting that role. So let's go into actually what he's thinking. Idris Elba is once again shooting down the possibility of playing James Bond. The Fast and Furious Presents Hobbs and Shaw actor appears on the latest cover of Vanity Fair, where he got real about the disappointment he felt after people were opposed to him stepping into the famous secret agent's shoes. The rumors first started in 2014 when an email leaked from Sony Pictures senior executive Amy Pascal revealed her feeling that, quote, Idris should be the next Bond. Quote, you just get disheartened when you get people from a generational point of view going, it can't be. And it really turns out to be the color of my skin, Eldra 46 said in response to the backlash. And then, if I get it and it didn't work, or it did work, wouldn't it be because of the color of my skin? Question mark. That's a difficult position to put myself into when I don't need to. Still, Elba admitted that it's an iconic role he'd want to change, he'd want the chance to play if it was offered to him, but he wouldn't go looking for it. James Bond is a hugely coveted, iconic, beloved character that takes audiences on this massive escapism journey, he said. Of course, if someone said to me, do you want to play James Bond? I'd be like, yeah, that's fascinating to me. But it's not something I've expressed like, yeah, I want to be the black James Bond. Because, by the way, we're talking about a spy. If you really want to break it down, the more or less obvious it is, the better. People's resigning sexiest, let me start that over because I want people to understand where Idris Elba stands. People's reigning sexiest man alive previously opened up in a new interview with the Daily Mail's event about the consistent rumors that he's taken over for Daniel Craig in the franchise. Craig is set to retire from the role after he wraps up the next installment. Quote, Bond is one of the biggest franchises in the world, and for that reason, whoever ends up playing it lives it, Elba said in the interview. You're that character, and known as that character for many, many years. I'm creating characters now that can still live alongside Idris, not ones that take over me and solely define me. So here at KSOL Black Talk Radio, we're going to bring up the obvious. Any white male actor, if they so choose, to take over the role of James Bond, they will be doing the status quo, the usual, exactly what people expect. How boring is that? We've seen that story one too many times. It's time for something new. It's time for a James Bond rebirth. It's time for a real James Bond character who gets the beautiful girl, who saves the day, who gets the baddest ass ride. He's got to have a flashy, super high-tech, flashy car, and then the best weapons in the world. And I say to you, my fellow YouTube subscribers, and those of you who haven't subscribed yet, I say to you, the new James Bond should be Idris Elba, a black James Bond, 007. Give him, as I stated before, all the things that you've given all the white actors who have played this role previously. If you thought Black Panther was something big, put Idris Elba in the role of James Bond 007 and see exactly what happens. This is KSOL Black Talk Radio. You tell me what you think in the comments section. Thanks for liking, sharing, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. Peace. P.S. There's one other issue I wanted to state while I'm here. Don't come on my comment section making the claim that this character doesn't apply to black men, because the same way you say that, I say to you that neither do any of the historical films that you've made that is truly black history. None of those that you've pushed and shuffled through Hollywood should have been produced in that case. And that goes elsewhere in other countries where European directors and producers with money decide to make movies about our great and our late king, the entertainer of the world, King Michael Jackson. How dare you make a movie of him featuring a white actor? Shenanigans like that is exactly why we should be seeing a James Bond 007 featuring our brother Idris Elba. Peace out.